So Big 5, it's kind of the most used test in the literature and psychology. It's pretty good, the Big 5. The problem is it's just a spectrum. So it's kind of just assessing mechanics and behaviors. It's just assessing mechanics and behaviors. So that's pretty good. But, it's like when PS kind of okay, like this type are not at all the same. Like you will see some crazy shit with the Big 5. It's like types that are totally opposite. They will still test the same on the Big 5. It's like, and it's still a self-report, the Big 5. So people are not really aware most of the time. So even if you are very aware of it, and it's still very useful. Like, it's still very useful, but it's like comparing to other typology is not so useful. Like, because it's on the spectrum, it's not like fixed. So that's also the problem with a lot of typology out there. It's like they are not fixed. So that's why I actually like the everything that stems from Carl Jung with MBTI and all that. Like MBTI is socionic, at least. You are in a category. Like, it's like, I think a lot of people nowadays don't like to be in a category, but you are in fact in a category. But you're still within a spectrum. So you're still within a spectrum, but you also have the category. So I think that's really cool that you have kind of those two parts. And the Big 5 is like, okay, yes, you are in a category if you are more, on that side of the spectrum. But it's like, it lacks the verticality of things. Like, it's like the verticality of things to really own in the patterns. Like, really the vertical, which the vertical I will talk about later on. Yeah, that is more OIDI. It's more settled. It's more the sources. So it's like that with it lacks that thing with the Big 5. So it cannot predict, like it can predict, but it's like the predictive capacity, the explanatory power can be a lot more if the system is vertical. And I mean, you want a system that narrow both the horizontal, the vertical, but the Big 5 totally lacks the vertical. So and like it's pretty much a revamp. The 16 personality website is pretty much a revamp of the Big 5. So a lot of people nowadays don't know that that the MBTI is pretty much a revamp of the Big 5. So yeah, the Enneagram, the 9 types, very popular typology up there. Kind of stem from the Kabbalah. And over time, really a lot of change. Actually, a lot of people change the system for it to become the Enneagram that we know nowadays. But yeah, the 1 are more the reformer, the more rule-based, self-control. The 2 are more helper, caring, people-pleasing, and the 3 are more success-oriented, pragmatic-driven. The 4 are more romantic, sensitive, expressive. So the 5 are more intense, cerebral, thinker. Then the 6 are more committed, responsible, anxious, suspicious, security. And the 7 are more easygoing, fun-loving, versatile. A bunch of characteristics basically. And the challenger, powerful, dominating, decisive, willful. And the 9 are peacemaker, self-effacing, agreeable, complacent. So the types have a lot of baskets of characteristics, which is again a problem with verticality. So Enneagram also has a problem with the verticality of things. That it's not like it's just a basket of things, and you can explain that better if you know kind of how people are into some type of categories, and you don't have that if you don't have some type of verticality. So again, Enneagram is very useful. It's really fun. I think that what is good with Enneagram is that the 9 kind of type that you can be are very charged. They're very beautifully charged in the sense that they really show, I think they really show the spectrum of the human experience, the Enneagram. So I think the peacemaker, challenger, enthusiast, all of those together, I think that they do show all the human experience pretty roughly. So if you meet someone I think there's a high chance that a category within those 9 will fit very well. The problem is just that it's a basket of a lot of characteristic and traits. So sometimes it's too washy-washy because of that. And I think that OPS just explained some stuff better. Like the 7 is really EP I like. The 6 is really IJ I like. The 5 is really a thinker I like. 4 very like play last FI I like. So I think that with a more complex typology, with a typology that is more that knows the verticality of things, I think it's just easier to have a lot of points to say, okay, maybe I'm more 5 in that area, maybe I'm more 9 in that area, maybe I'm more 3 in that area. I think the problem with Enneagram is, again, it's too general, a lot of characteristic in a single basket. But I do think that the 9 types are very well crafted, in the sense that I think that they like, if you type people with those 9, I think roughly it will be pretty good. I just think that it just there's if you want to be more precise about it, I think it can be a lot more powerful to actually use another typology. But I do have an Enneagram revamp, so I will show it later in the live stream. But yeah, there are some revamp that I did that actually I think they really go to the origin of the Enneagram. That I think the origin of the Enneagram, if it was more Kabbalah, it was more about the levels of a person, and not the chakras per se, but kind of like the body region, you can say. And I also take the most interesting thing about Enneagram, which is the object relation, and attachment, rejection, frustration. I think those three are very important actually to realize in oneself. And I think that it lacks also the inside and outside with the Enneagram. So I kind of put kind of more verticality of things with the Enneagram, kind of going it with like an order of top and bottom, and also kind of inside outside, more like a kind of introvert extrovert in some sense, but not the same thing. Yeah, I will show you later my Enneagram revamp.